Speaker view. Okay. Oh, wait. Speaker. Okay, I'm going to shut up and then give me like 3 seconds and you're good.
Okay. Okay. This is my persuasive speech on the Humane Cosmetics Act of 2025. Imagine yourself going through a regular cosmetic store like Ulta or Sephora and grabbing all of your favorite products. And when you look at the back and you see all the ingredients, you catch yourself paying more attention to where it says cruelty free. And just by those words, it makes you want to buy the product even more. But when you get home and wonder if the product is actually cruelty free, you decide to look it up just to find out it's not. Normally, when someone thinks that animal testing for cosmetics would be unharmful, but actually the animals are getting subjected to having chemicals dipped into their eyeballs and chemicals rubbed into their shaved skin. When you actually look up how many products are used for animal testing, you would be shocked and just imagine that there are millions of products that say that they are cruelty free, but only a few products actually are, but no one could do anything about it because it's technically legal. Years later, someone decided to create a bill that stops people from using animals as testing for cosmetics, which would help the animals, because allowing this bill to pass means that all continuing tests on animals would come to a stop. The problem: animal testing has been a standard scientific and medical practice for so long that the government had begun regulating. The reason why cosmetic brands are allowed to test on animals is because um the brands want to fulfill consumer safety claims and avoid legal liability if a product irritates or harms a user. ADA Cosmetics, a specialized personal care products and hygiene systems, deep dive more into what animal testing in cosmetics really is. They state it involves various experiments that are carried out during the product development phase to test the priorities and safety of individual cosmetic ingredients or the finished product itself. These tests normally are supposed to test for the toxicity level of a chemical, and they also observe the reaction time for their own product. Most of the time, mice, rats, rabbits, and guinea pigs are tested on. An animal research article says that the reason why mice and rats are tested on more often is because they are the closest to share our biological and genetic similarities with humans. Testing animals is so common because every cosmetic brand is required to have human trials before releasing any product. Instead of humans, they would usually use animals just because they have a better way to assess safety without it being harmful to humans. Usually, the government wouldn't do anything about it because animal testing has been used for so long that they don't see a problem with it anymore. Now that I've talked about what the problem is, let's look into our solution. The US government should pass the Humane Cosmetic Act of 2025. This bill was introduced on February 27, 2025, and sponsored by Representative for Virginia's 6th Congressional District of the Democratic Party. In this bill, it says it shall be unlawful to knowingly sell, offer for sale, or transport to interstate commerce in the United States, making it known to everyone that no one is allowed to sell animal tested products. If the U.S. government passes this bill, it will restrict the use of animal testing for all cosmetics by making it illegal just to test on any animals and offering other uses like highly advanced alternative methods. This federal bill is important because if it becomes a law, then all the scientists will be restricted from all animal testing and stop hurting any animals. Having this bill be made a law will prevent any animals from being tortured and used for experiments, even if it's to make sure the products are good for humans. This bill will save thousands of animals, no matter how big or how small, and give every single animal a chance to live in their natural habitat or go to loving families. Now that I've talked about the solution, let's look at our visualization. If we pass this bill, the positive outcomes that will occur would be it would require every industry to rely on modern, non animal testing alternatives and animal welfare. And this bill will also tell everyone of the well being of each animal that was tested on and have all products be actually cruelty free. If we don't pass this bill, however, animal testing will still be legal and many animals will be forced into experiments that they have no control over and being forced to put things in their own body or on themselves. In the article Rise for Animals, it states countless animals will continue to endure painful, outdated, and unethical experiments just so brands can sell their own cosmetics. Now that I've covered visualization, let's talk about the action step. In order to make this bill an official law, we must contact Representative Donald Bayer. To contact Mr. Bayer, we can go to his official website called Bayer's official website and press contact and send him an email. Another way to contact him is by going to one of his socials, which is also linked in his website, and contact him there. To wrap up everything we talked about what animal testing is, what the major problem animal testing is doing to them, our solution to the problem, the outcome of this bill on whether this bill is passed or not, and what could happen if to all the animals in the end. To be able to protect all the animals we care about, we need this Humane Cosmetic Act of 2025 passed. After all this, I would encourage you to reach out to Mr. Bayer and voice out your opinion on this solution. Thank you. I'm done.
Good job. That was
Thank
great.
you.
Doom. We are all